Welcome back to New Zealand. So we may be small, pretty insignificant, pretty far away, and the rest of the world doesn't really know about us, but we punch way beyond our weight in world firsts, scenery and historical events. So today we're counting down the greatest moments in New Zealand history where we left the rest of the world in our dust. So get comfy, grab yourself a tea or coffee, and let's get into it, eh? So back in 1893, when the rest of the world was still deciding whether or not women should be allowed to speak in public without being publicly flogged,
New Zealand was like, hold of my pantaloons, thou shalt allow them a vote. Before she was humbly sitting on her $10 note, Kate Shepherd, legend and lady boss, was out there doing it for women's rights. Thanks to her, New Zealand became the first self-governing country to let women vote. That's nearly 3 decades before America, and while the UK was still debating whether women were too emotional to cast a logical vote, New Zealand was busy inventing the concept of political equality.
So capitalism's pretty great until your boss pays your bonus in Domino's pizza and lukewarm Coke Zero.
So, did you know that in 1894 New Zealand stepped in to solve this problem with the world's first national minimum wage? That's right, the land of the long white cloud became the land of the fair pay packet. The law was passed just 1 year after giving women the right to vote. Coincidence? Nah. Conspiracy? Maybe. Or perhaps it was just another example of New Zealand not waiting around for history to catch up. While the rest of the world was stuck in coal mines and factories trying to get by, Kiwis were putting their feet up, dual-wielding mince pies.
Rugby. The only sport where you can get a black eye, a hernia and a hapawari all in one afternoon.
So here in New Zealand, rugby is pretty much life, and it's at the forefront of all Kiwi culture. And in 1987, the mighty All Blacks did what the All Blacks do best. They smashed the French in crisp 360p resolution and sponsored by Steinlager. New Zealand hosted and won the very first inaugural Rugby World Cup, defeating France 29-9 at Eden Park. The All Blacks claimed the very first Rugby World Cup trophy and kicked off a legacy of rugby dominance, which has seen New Zealand holding the trophy 3 times now, second only to the South Africans. Din din din, we're coming for you guys. This was our version of the moon landing, but with more mud and significantly fewer Americans.
Alright, so let's move away from all those hard hits and into a more moving story.
So, did you know that way back in 1937, good old New Zealand decided that every school kid deserved stronger bones and a calcium-rich moustache daily? So the Labour government rolled out the world's first free milk in school scheme on the 2nd of April 1937, aiming to boost the health and clear dairy surpluses. No frills, no fuss, just a cup of nature's goodness. It proved so popular that countries around the world adopted the practice and called it their own. Just another example of the world stealing New Zealand's ideas.
So there ain't no mountain high enough to stop our legends from leaving their mark on the world.
Did you know that in 1953, while the rest of the world was too busy developing nuclear weapons or fighting over lost alien technology, New Zealand was actually doing something pretty cool, climbing Mount Everest. Just because it was standing there, you know, all unclimbed and unchallenged. Sir Edmund Hillary, a humble beekeeper from Auckland, teamed up with Tenzing Norgay to become the world's first humans to reach the summit of the world's tallest mountain. No GPS, no Spotify playlist, just grit, wool socks, dual pair of undies, and a she'll be right attitude. Hillary's famous quip, "Well George, we knocked the bastard off," echoed across the Himalayas and back to New Zealand, forever stamping the Kiwi grit on Everest summit. Now we honour that legend on our $5 note. Good on you, mate.
So let's take a trip back in time to a strange world way, way back before us.
Time. It's the only thing that we can't buy, can't own, and we can't preserve. We all use it, but did you know that New Zealand was the first to standardise it? Before 1868, every town basically had its own time zone. Noon in Wellington might have been 12:17 in Dunedin, and meh, close enough in Christchurch. But on the 2nd of November 1868, New Zealand tossed out local city times and mandated New Zealand mean time, making it the first self-governing country to standardise clocks based on the national meridian, over a decade before Britain adopted GMT nationwide. Why? Well, why not?
So did you know that Antarctica is the only continent in the world to not have a McDonald's? It's probably the reason why the only thing that's fat there are the penguins.
But did you know that on the 24th of January 1895, 17-year-old Alexander von Tunzelman, a proudly Kiwi crew member, hopped ashore Cape Adare, becoming the first person known with certainty to step foot on Antarctica's mainland. Move over penguins, Kiwis got here first. Now it's home to scientists, adventurers, and secret alien bases. But one question still remains: did he invent the phrase, "It's a bit chilly out here"? Almost certainly.
So way before Dolly Parton, New Zealand was trying to figure out how to work less and get paid more.
You've heard of working 9 to 5, but did you know that the idea started with a bloke in New Zealand named Samuel Parnell, who literally told his boss, 8 hours work, 8 hours play, 8 hours sleep, or I walk. This happened in 1840 when one guy sparked a movement that spread globally. Today, thanks to him, millions of people get to spend 8 hours scrolling through memes and pretending to work from home. Not all heroes wear capes, and still, we celebrate Labour Day every year to honour his memory.
Alright, so for those who get triggered by lady drivers, you may want to look away right about now.
Did you know that in October 1936, flying her sleek Percival Gull 6 monoplane, Jean Batten flew non-stop from England to New Zealand, a solo record that stood for 44 years. Her nail-biting trans-Tasman crossing made world headlines and cemented her status as the Garbo of the skies. After a staggering 11 days and 45 minutes of flight... What? 11 days? What? Ah, man, that's... Whoa. She was greeted by a crowd of 6,000 people at the Mangair Aerodrome. While other pilots were busy crashing or asking for directions, Jean Batten was out here flying solo across the globe, wearing red lipstick and defying expectations. What a boss.
So let's talk about the stars, and not the drug-fueled Hollywood type.
And finally, did you know that New Zealand's Mackenzie region became the first place in the Southern Hemisphere to be declared an international dark sky reserve? Where else on earth does that happen? By keeping light pollution to almost zero, this sky park over Mount Cook National Park lets you gaze at the Milky Way like nowhere else on earth. That's right, our sky is so gorgeous it's legally protected. You can literally stargaze while being serenaded by sheep and Steve the Shepherd.
So there you have it, folks. 10 glorious moments when New Zealand bet the rest of the world to the party. New Zealand's a hell of a country and we know how to lead. So if you liked this video and got something out of it, make sure you smash that like button like it was your bully in high school. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one, eh?